Hey gamers, today we're going to look at the all-in Kickstarter package for Project Elite. Let's do this. Alright, let's talk about setup for this game. First off, what you're going to be doing is taking these little search icons here, putting them on the board where you see here. You'll flip this board. This board is double-sided. There are two different sides to play on. You have these tokens, these 1, 2, and 3 tokens, and you can put them randomly anywhere on the little circles on the board. I just put them out 1, 2, 3. Each character is going to get 4 of these die and 3 of their firing die here. They're going to get their own little character. They'll have a little base at the bottom to signify their color. When they pick their character, they can pick from several different characters in the game. There are several different characters that come in the game, and this is really cool. You get to like your own little cube here that you'd place at the front one here, and then you'd have your little guy here. You start with weapons. What you'll do is you'll take a bunch of these basic weapon cards. You'll shuffle them up. You'll deal out ones equal to the players, and I believe it's +2, and they all get to choose their own weapon. So they'll start with an opening weapon. Weapons are very easy to read. This is the range, so this is a 1 range. You can only and once you activate it by using the icon, you would have to roll the the gun icon. Once you roll the gun icon, you can activate this weapon, and then you would roll one of these little green die, because it says 1 die, and on a 3 or plus you would hit. That's how you read these. Now the basic weapons aren't as good. You'll definitely need to search through here for items or get alien tech that can help enhance your weapons or give you better weapons. But anyway, you'd roll the die, and if he got a 3 or plus, which he did, he would get a hit and hopefully kill an alien. Anyway, so those are the basic weapons there. You have your event deck, your boss deck, your swarm spawn cards. I've already talked about your alien tech. You get alien tech every time you kill a boss spawn. And then you have your search deck here you shuffle through. Those are for the search cards there. If a player does make it over there, they can take it, and during the game, if they want to, they can pick out 3 cards from the search deck, pick one, put the other 2 at the bottom, and then flip this over. Or what most likely they'll do is hold on to this till after the round is over and then search through the search deck. That's probably what you're going to want to do. All of these characters will start here behind this line as well. Each character will also have certain things depending on what you are playing on. They come with all these tokens here. This is for the capture scenario. These are like little traps that you would set up once you activate the capture scenario. They have these little hit tokens with the little heartbeats on them. They come in 1 and 3. They also have things like acid. This is acid here. Some boss monsters spit out acid, and when they do, if you step on it, you lose. You suffer a hit point. Slime here. If you have some bosses that spit out slime. Slime makes a character, alien, slide faster on the board. If they land on slime, they immediately move again. So aliens move faster on slime. And the rest of these are like little things. Depending on your character, you may need some of these tokens, so I'm not going to go into everything here. But like I said, the rules are very straightforward. You also have a timer. My timer's still in the box. You really don't need the timer. There's an excellent app you can download for free, and it comes with a timer on it, and it's just awesome. It comes with music too and sound effects. It's pretty cool. Anyway, you also have your 3 regular foot soldiers, and you have these cards that let you know how much they move and how they hit you. Runners just hit you. They go really fast, but they hit you by just bumping into you. Biters can bite you within a certain distance, and shooters can shoot you if you're in a certain range on a 4 or plus. You put these out at the side of the board, but to be honest, after the first game, you won't really need these. You'll have this stuff memorized. Now, there are different ways to play the game. The instruction manual will let you know what you need to do and how you need to set up and prepare. In fact, they have these little nifty little start cards for everyone to pass out and have, but it tells you how many cards should be in the event deck, if it's easy, if it's hard, if it's medium or whatever. And then in the spawning phase, depending on which level you want, if you're doing easy, you reveal one spawn card for each player and reveal one boss card each round. If you're medium, you're doing the same thing for spawn boss cards, but revealing 2 boss spawn cards. And if you're on hard, you're revealing 1 spawn card per player plus 1, and then 2 boss cards as well. So those are the different difficulty levels. On the next page here, it gives you everything you should do to be able to play the game. Now, let me go back to your individual player board. Like I said, you do have this little cube here. It will count your hits as you're moving down the board. When you cross certain areas on the board, you'll have to lock die. Some of your regular rolling die will have to be locked if you get too injured below a certain point, and of course that makes the game harder. Now I should also mention each character comes with a special ability as well. You can search through the deck and just pick whoever you want. But of course it'll start here, and as they keep getting hit, they'll lose die, and if they get hit and they only have 1 hit left, the character is dead and the game ends. That's the way the good guys can lose. If anyone dies, they lose. If any alien makes it past this line, the team loses. Or if you can't complete your mission in 8 rounds, you lose. So there's a lot of ways to lose this game. Now for missions, there are way different missions in the game. They're kind of similar, but a little different. Extermination, there's capture, demolition on the back there. Let me see what other ones are there here. Extermination is one, and they have a newer one here called exploration. You'll just put one of these, either symbols from one of your dies, the little touch finger or the search icon, and flip it over, and something good or bad will happen. I actually like exploration. But anyway, whichever one you are playing, the instruction manual is very clear on where these go on the board. There are numbers here on the board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it will tell you, say, okay, you're playing extermination, how many players? You know, how many? Okay, well, you put one at 11, you put one at 7, and you put one at 3, and that's a capture. So it wouldn't be demolition, to be extermination. But anyway, you would put your characters, you would put the disc out there determining on how many players you're having, and it'll tell you exactly where it goes. And then you're ready to play. Now all you're doing, your whole goal is to get out here, shoot and kill aliens, make sure no aliens get past here, make sure your characters don't die, go out here and throw out die, completing missions, and then returning back to base. That's what you have to do. Now, if an icon is here in red, you will lock your die for that round, meaning if I was to roll 3 guns, and I can keep re-rolling my die over and over again for 2 minutes, 2 minutes is each round, and you lock your die in there, and they're there for the rest of the round. Once it's done, this tile has been achieved, it will be removed from the game, and then you can go on to the next tile. You'll get your dice back at the end of the turn. The only time you don't get your dice back is if you get injured. You'll have to keep those die off. Now the 3 types of aliens, they have minis for them. They look very beautiful, of course. This is biters. These right here are shooters here, and these are nice little runners. So they do look nice, and the game comes with several other boss tokens here that look really nice, and other heroes here. I'm not going to go over each one, but the minis of course look great. So to kind of show you how a gameplay goes, first off it says you will reveal an event card. That's how every round starts. So you reveal an event card. Now event cards can be different. There are different types of event cards here. One type is an instant thing. It's usually instant bad. Boss rush. Immediately reveal and resolve an additional boss spawn card. Oh no, I'm going to have to reveal a spawn card later on, but I got to reveal 2 this turn. That's never good. Or the event may be something you have to achieve. You have to lock these die, these symbol die in, determining on how many players there are. 1 to 2 players. This would be 3, 4, 5, and 6 players. And anyone can contribute to this, but if you do not in this threat here, then whatever happens down here that says, hey, at the end of the alien spawning phase, spawn an additional swarm spawn card. Oh no, that's awful. So I got to do, if I'm playing 4 players, I got to do 5 swarm spawn cards. That's terrible. If I don't want that happening for the next round, we've got to deposit 1 of each die, if it's a 4-player game up to here, with these icons to get rid of this threat. This is awful. Or an event could be no effect. Little smiley face, nothing happens. You're very happy happy to see this card, but unfortunately there aren't that many in the deck. All right, so after you've revealed your event, then you're going to do the spawning phase. You're going to take out, it says reveal spawn cards based on the difficulty, which I just showed you earlier, and then reveal a boss card based on the difficulty, so 1 or 2, depending on what type of difficulty you're playing on. Swarm spawn cards are very easy to read. They will tell you first how many of that alien will be spawning, where they'll be spawning on a 1, 2, or 3 token that you have on the board. If it has a question mark, what you're going to do is you're going to roll this die, and on a 1 or 2, it'll go to the 1 section, 3 or 4, it'll go to the 2 section, 5 or 6, it'll go to the 3 section. They even tell you that on the tokens there. So see, if you roll 3 to 4, they're going to number 2. So very simple, easy to understand. On top of that, if they have this symbol, as you see this, oh, let me see, this guy here, there's 3 of them, they go on 2, but they do not activate. These activate, meaning they move, and runners move 3 spaces. You know that because you have these cards again that will tell you, hey, if it's a runner, he moves 1 space, and that's how many hits it takes to destroy them. As you see, all these basic foot soldiers only require 1 hit. Biters move 2, shooters are the slowest one, they move 1, but they're very dangerous because they can hit you from a range 3. All the cards are very self-explanatory, very easy to do. So once you've spawned all the aliens out, you'll put them out there, move them according to the arrows on the board. They have to move according to the arrows on the board, and then from there you reveal a boss card. Now there are 2 types of boss cards in the deck. One of them is an evil boss. This is not going to be around much longer because they're going to blow his brains out. But he'll tell you how many hits they are and how many moves they will do at the end of each round. He'll move 3. And then sometimes it'll be, hey, all clear. There are no bad guys here. Again, I wish there were more of these cards in the deck, but there aren't. There's a lot of bosses that you will be dealing with in this game. So after all that is done, then it goes to the action phase. You have 2 minutes, and then you roll the dice and perform actions on the board. So you're just rolling these die, and whatever you're getting, this one is a move die. This one helps you do different things. It may help you activate guns. This one usually helps you search for items, but you can also use it for certain guns. Of course, that one is for guns. That one could be for guns, or for, you could also use these to achieve certain goals in the game. And if it's a red die, red symbol here, that means you have to move one of the aliens 1 space down the board. So the aliens, so you're constantly rolling here, and then you're doing all the events there, and you can keep something like here's a fire. So I want to fire later on, but I moved twice here, and now the alien moves once. And if he's within range, then I can take however many of my green die, which as you saw earlier, it's just 1 die, and I can roll a 3 or plus. And of course I miss. This is a regular game for me. And then you'd have to take this up and you'd have to re-roll it again to get another symbol like that. You just can't keep it there and keep firing. But what you're doing is you're furiously throwing down die, killing aliens, trying to achieve goals, or trying to move back to your base. After that, then the alien activation phase happens. All aliens perform their abilities, which are written on these cards. Usually it's movement, sometimes it's shooting, sometimes it's biting, and of course the big boss card, whatever that one is, it'll tell you what it does every round and how far it moves. Once you've done all that, if no aliens have made it past here and no one has died, then you go to the end of round phase where you check for the victory. Did you win or not? No. Did you lose? And if not, then you return all the dice that were in the lot positions, and then you refresh all your tokens. If you had certain tokens, certain players have certain tokens that they use in the game, you get a refresher on that. And then you'd go over it again. This game is very similar from the base game. Thankfully, they didn't change it that much. And like I said, there are several different missions, several different ways to play, and of course that is the game. Okay, this is the Terrain Box expansion, and basically it comes with more of the same. Which is always good. It comes with 2 extra boards here. You'll just flip it over for that. Comes with more little awesome looking villains here. Eggs in your game, 1, 2, or 3 alien spawn eggs, which are really fun. You have, of course, more heroes to play with different abilities, which are really great. You have a few extra of the base aliens in there. And then one of the coolest things you have is you have now watchtowers. Watchtowers, if you stand on them, they have these little, these can replace some of the search tokens there, so you place on top of it and keep it there. Once you lock in 2 wrenches, you get a +1 on all range and hits, which is really nice while you're standing on this. However, if this does get pushed by aliens, it will crumple and fall and be destroyed, and if you were on top of it, you will suffer 1 hit point. But those are watchtowers. That's something extra they added to the game. Now, of course, like I said, the characters in here, I'm not going to go over each one, but basically the same. They do have different abilities, which are really good. The game comes with this nice drawstring bag. Have no idea what it's for, but I think it's beautiful. And I don't know why I had this out here, but I punched all the things I punched out from the little player boards. I kept, because I think I'm going to do something where these are little locked entrances. You have to roll something to get them unlocked, and these little brown little punch tokens are like rubble. I thought about putting rubble in the area and having to clear rubble as they're trying to get back to their base. But as you see, the spawning areas are different in some of these, and each map is a little different. And basically, that is all that comes with the terrain box. The next expansion is the Alien Ship Rescue expansion. It comes with all these tiles that you'll randomly set up. I say randomly set up on the board, but they're both double-sided. The instruction manual will tell you, depending on what you're playing here, where you're going to put some of these icons. Usually you start right up there. Sorry about the glare, but you'd start right up there, and you would connect these as the instruction manual tells you. And as you see, there are these little areas on the board. You'll actually put out these little bio scanners here. Aliens can go through these without any damage. If you run through them, you receive 1 damage. However, as you see, if you place a cube and place a dice there and lose it for the round, it will flip this over to green, and you can pass through it without any damage. You can also shoot these and just blow them up if you want to as well. On a regular hit, it takes 1 hit to blow them up. The game comes with extra special icons for 1, 2, and 3. They have little icons on these boards too, and a little special search token. There are some additional search items here. They are med packs, which are really helpful. They will help you heal. Game comes with a lot of, 4 new bosses and these new aliens called flyers. Ooh, this is the new dangerous one. They move 2 spaces, and if they fly over you, you receive 1 hit, and they're only 1 hit to kill. The game, of course, comes with additional boss spawn cards as well as a few of these tokens, a few swarm cards that you would add to your swarm deck for the flyers. And since this is Alien Ship Rescue, there are 3 hostages or whatever that you can rescue in this game. You'll put them out in the board where they want you to. This is a very hard expansion, and when you're moving these people back, it takes 2 movement die to move these people 1 with you, because you're kind of carrying them with you. But that is the Alien Rescue expansion. Now, if you got the Kickstarter edition, the Kickstarter edition came with an extra big baddie boss and 2 more additional players, Dante and Sarah, the medic who was in the original game. But this is only if you have the Kickstarter expansion. In the Deathman Valley expansion, it does come with 2. It comes with the burrows underneath here, and this is the top sand part. It does come with these little things to help you out in the burrows. These are used as barricades. If not, they're placed here on the board to kind of show you where alien movement is. Usually alien movement is on one side of the board, to the left or to the right, wherever you want to move this. As you see, there is no starting point for the heroes, so you can put a starting point out right here. This is for the starting point, wherever you want it to be. There also is a crash ship where they could start in between. Maybe you put it in the middle, or maybe it's a ship they have to go there and do something. The book comes with several different scenarios. This really switches out the game here. You're also going to come with some more tokens, some 3-hit tokens, because Death Maul takes a lot of hits to destroy. And then these lava tokens. Lava tokens are a job that you will have to do, usually on the burrows. There's a thing where you shoot the barricades and bring these lava tokens out. They don't hurt you, but they do hurt the other aliens, and you'll be shooting it trying to get the lava to flow, and that's one of the objectives in one of the scenarios of the game. Now, the game also comes with these nest tokens. Of course, if you will lock 2 of your die on the gun token thing, you can take a biological sample, sometimes it's used to get biological samples. These are just for different scenarios in the game. They also have eggs here. Eggs are really neat because you're destroying eggs. When you destroy eggs, when you have these die, when everyone has these die placed on these symbols, you'll roll one of the hit tokens and you'll destroy that many eggs that have the symbols on it. And then you'll flip them over and they'll say either 0, 1, 2, or 3. Now, once the number gets up to 12, that's when Death Maul is going to come out, swinging and attacking. If you're playing a game with eggs. And this is the Death Maul. He connects all together as one piece here. Tail, different bodies, different head segments. He is a beast of a character and really hard to kill. But there are Death Maul event cards in this game. You'll play these. These have certain scenarios and situations you have to do. It's like I said, different events here. You also have these Death Maul activations, because Death Maul is going to activate differently every round. For instance, Death Maul could do a head attack. He would move 2 spaces. Anybody within a range of 2 of his head in any of these spaces, he rolls the die, and on a 3 or plus, he deals 3 damage. That is terrible. But wait, it gets worse. He can also do a tail attack, same way, move 3 spaces, range of 3. On a 4 or plus, you get 3 damage. He can also do a side-to-side attack. You roll the hit die, and if it's a 1, 2, or 3, he's moving to the left. 4, 5, or 6, he's moving to the right. He moves 2 spaces in this case, and it's within a range of 1. If he rolls a 2 or plus, you get 4 damage. By the way, if he ever runs over any of the minions in this game, they automatically die. So the alien, that's nice. He kills aliens too just by running into them or pushing them, but you're going to get some heavy damage on this. Finally, there's a dig attack. A dig attack is awful. Basically, what you're doing is you're burying him in the sand. You're rolling a hit die. They do have this little burrow here, but anyway, he buries in the sand. You roll the hit die and you move him that many spaces, of course following the alien path toward the villains. Anyone that he digs past, any regular aliens are dead. When he pops up, anyone within a range of 2 will suffer 2 damage automatically, because Death Maul is angry. They do have these Death Maul cards that you'll kind of just lay out on the board like so. Death Maul, you cannot hit his tail or his head until you have hit his body and killed his body off. As you see, his body takes 6 hits each, and so you're laying these out from head to tail, and you're basically destroying at first the body segments of the game. And when you're doing that, I'm sorry, that's the regular Death Maul card there. There's the tail there. When you're doing that, you're flipping it over, showing it's done. Now, sometimes his body, all Death Maul attacks deal -1 damage. So he can get weaker as you're destroying some of his body there. In this game, I don't know, -1 damage is a little confusing, because obviously he can only damage a 4, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little things here. So we don't even play with that right now. I do believe that is a misprint. As the Death Maul is getting destroyed, you're just going to pop open Death Maul and take out one of his little middle pieces and shorten him down to just his head and his tail. And when it's his head and his tail, that's when you can start attacking the head and the tail, which are worth 10 points each. To destroy Death Maul after you get the middle segments done, he is going to do, he's got 20 hits on him. He is obviously the hardest alien in the game. He's almost like a mega boss if you remember the old games, and Death Maul is extremely hard to kill. However, you do have help. You do have assistance. You have landmines, harpoon guns, flamethrowers, laser turrets, and missile launchers to help kill Death Maul and other people. You have thumpers that can stop him from moving. You have beacons that if you pay a wrench, you can get some of your health back. So there are stuff in the deck, and these are new search items that you would put in the deck that you can pull up that can help you stop Death Maul. Okay, these are really nice to have. They help you defeat Death Maul. Now, most of the things are hunting the worm, destroying nests, destroying eggs, doing Death Maul events. Like I said, a lot of different goals that are in the Death Maul expansion set. Now, if you do have the Kickstarter edition, Kickstarter edition comes with it comes with some extra icons here, but it comes with 2 extra players in the game. You have 2 extra players. It comes with a stinger portion for Death Maul. Just in case you thought he wasn't hard enough, add a stinger to him, and this thing does even more damage. And then you have the another boss here that kind of looks like a villain from Starship Troopers. Doesn't he look like the Starship Trooper alien? Anyway, but those are what you get if you have the Kickstarter edition of the game. The next expansion I'm going to talk about is the Rook team. Comes with these really powerful mech people in power suits here that are really strong. They each have their own special abilities. They come with these boards here. They can fire really good. They have a special ability. There's a place on the die where they can lock up. Their suit can lock up. If that's the case, to unlock it, you have to roll 2 die. Same thing as before. You have the little cube that you'll move down here. Of course, you can lose die as well. They do have special abilities. Each one does. These are really awesome. They come with these special die. The 2 extra things on there that come with this die is, well, they have a half wrench, half push thing, which I like. They have this X, which means you locked up. And then they have this little mask thing, which would unlock your special ability, which is down here. But Rook Team are really good, really powerful people. They actually come with extra spawn cards. These spawn cards you would push in the deck, and they have Enraged Beast here. Basically, you're taking any 2 types of swarms and putting 3 on 2 and 2 on 3, or whatever it says, 1 on 2, 2 on 3, and you're activating them. Oh man, the enraged ones just make the game a lot harder, but these guys have a lot of good abilities, and Rook Team are awesome to have. Now, if you do have the Kickstarter edition, there is a bonus Rook Team member called Castillo here that would come with it. The last little mini expansion I'm going to talk about here is the Alien Allies. Basically, it just comes with 2 more additional heroes. These are aliens that are helping you out. They're always considered good guys, and the rules just say, hey, when you're playing with these aliens, insert these 2 event cards. There are just 2 extra event cards that would go in the game. And basically that's just the Alien Allies and Rook expansion. The next little mini expansion is the ammo pack. It just basically comes with these 2 little ammo crates. This is, if you hit this icon, you can search the ammo crate and get some ammo and reload your weapon to fire. Just a different way to load up your weapon. If you hit the little touch points, you can kick the crate over to someone else to use as well. So if you roll 2 of, let's say you roll 2 of these icons, you can move this 2 spaces towards someone else if they need to get ammo out of the ammo crate. Now this little mini expansion also comes with these extra search cards, which basically come with grenades. Grenades will be used by one of these 2 symbols. If you do have a grenade, there's repellent, smoke, and explosive. Each one has a special thing that they do. Once you hit the 2 little push buttons there, you can throw this grenade. The range is usually 3, and it's usually 1 die on a 4+. You will hit, and you'll do whatever it is. Repellent, moving them back. Smoke grenade, basically they can't move until they activate to the end of the round. It kind of freezes all of those aliens within that area, which is really good. And of course this one does damage to the aliens. So there's 3 different types of explosives, and there's 2 of each in this little small ammo pack expansion. Final thoughts. What do I think about the game? Well, obviously I love the original game, Project Elite. It blew me away when I played it at Gen Con years ago. I've loved it ever since. It's been one of the best co-op games I have ever played. All of my friends, even if they don't like co-op games, they love Project Elite. Everyone loves Project Elite. And so it was a no-brainer when this came out on Kickstarter. I was like, yes, I got to get it. I got to get the reprint, right? And so let me break down each one of these games and what I think about them. First off, the base game. Is it good? Yeah, it's great. It's a lot of fun. I like some of the things I liked that they changed up was how you get your starting items. One of the things I hated about the original game is you just randomly drew some items, and sometimes they didn't match up. Sometimes they just were not that good to start off with. You got really crap weapons. And here, all the beginner weapons aren't the best, but at least it's something you can work with. So I do like that one. Another thing that they changed up is the hits. In the old game, it took 3 hits and you were gone. You were dead. Game over. I mean, you lost a die, and then you could come back with 3 permanent die, but it didn't feel as good. Now this one I do like. You have that counter and you move it down, and when you get so many hits, you're going to lose a die and lose a next die. But you can heal. Now, if you have some of the expansions, you can heal and get a little bit better and maybe reclaim some of your die. I like that. Now, that isn't in the base game where you can heal, so you'd have to get the expansions for that. But for the base game alone, yes, I think this is a fantastic game, and I think you should get it. Now, what about the terrain box? What do I think about this one? Well, this has a little bit extra of everything. It has extra aliens, has extra men you can use. The eggs are kind of nice, has extra aliens. All of that is really nice. And of course, it has extra boards and places to play, which is good. I enjoyed this one. However, the towers are not good. They're a complete fail. The towers, when you set them up to replace the search weapons, no one liked that. So then we changed it up where you can just put them anywhere on the board. But still no one liked it because you could get pushed over and hurt yourself. And it's like, that's not fair. And then plus you have to play 2 wrenches and just roll with 2 die from there on out when you're shooting people. So that wasn't fun. So then I moved them off the board where you couldn't get bumped off, but still no one really went there because you lose 2 die during the turn and while you're shooting. So what? It gives you a +1 range and a +1 hit, -1 on hits. It's just no good. So I like the idea of the towers. It just kind of fell flat. I don't know what I'm going to do for future games, but no one used the towers. I like the idea. Again, maybe get rid of the 2 wrenches and just put them in harm's way so you can get up on the towers and shoot for a little while. Maybe that'll be better. But like I said, I don't know if they test played that enough because no one in my gaming group ever got on a tower. It just wasn't worth it. It was tempting because of all the extra stuff you could get, but it just wasn't good enough. So there's a miss on that one. The next one was the alien rescue ship, and this one is great. It gives you that sense of claustrophobia. The tiles are very narrow, so you feel trapped. The game can really get out of hand. Doing that rescue mission, trying to rescue those people, is one of the hardest ones. I love how they upped the ante here. This is a good expansion. This is a very good expansion. Really enjoyed it. The other expansion is the Death Maw Valley. This is the one I was looking forward to the most out of all the expansions because, I mean, man, that centipede looks great, right? But this is where the game slightly falls short. First off, all those big weapons, those are nice, but they have so many rules on how to fire them, what they can do, and when you can use them, that it makes the game kind of clunky. All those big weapons do, and that's a shame because I thought it would be much cooler to have those weapons laid out and to be shooting the centipede and other people with it. But the minis on this, I like the minis. They look good, a little chitsy in a way. They're not like the old standard minis, but I'll get to that in a minute. This mini is horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible to unsnap. It's so hard to unsnap. Someone said, well, Matt, you sandpaper the little edges and it'll pop off easier. Why do I have to sandpaper something that they created? It's very spiky too, so it'll prick your fingers. The red paint will rub off on your fingers too because you keep trying to squeeze it and trying to push it out. I even drew blood the first few times because there's a lot of sharp pieces on the centipede and it'll puncture skin, man. He'll make you bleed. Death Maw will. And it's so hard to take out the pieces, and it's so frustrating because you have to pause the game. I mean, and also you don't know which middle people hit. When everyone's hitting the middle there, I got to hit. What piece? What pieces you hit on? Because usually there's just one person throwing hit points on the cards. So there's a lot of confusion on what middle sections were getting hit in a game like that. It's just kind of frustrating. Like I said, great idea, but the mini is absolutely horrible play-wise. And like I said, it's a little bit meticulous on how you draw a card, and that's how he attacks. That's nice, and he does deal some big damage. We died several times with Death Maw, and I like the idea of it, but it wasn't the best expansion. This is probably the expansion that I enjoyed the least, which is really weird because it's the one I thought I enjoyed the most. The next one here is the Rook Team kind of expansion here. Rook Team is a lot of fun, man. It's aggravating when your suit locks up and you have to unlock it, but that's part of the risk reward that you do. They are very powerful characters, and the extra enraged alien spawn cards are really tough. They make the game even harder because you're actually spawning 2 types of aliens for every person in the game on easy. And that makes the game a lot harder, but it should be because these guys are really good. My nephews really like the Rook Team. Everyone loves the Rook Team. Okay, so let me talk about the Kickstarter exclusives like Death Valley Extra and the Alien Rescue Ship Extra right there. And then, of course, the Rook Extra. Do you need these Kickstarter extras? No, but they're nice to have. Hopefully in the store they'll make these available for them on the CMON store. You'll get them later, and definitely they're worth having if you want them. The other little things I don't know if you can get, but the Alien, little Alien expansion pack, Alien Allies, it's nice. We played with them. They were okay. Yeah, I could take or leave this one. And then the ammo pack, we absolutely loved. It was the simplest little expansion, but it's so fun it's easy to load up your gun that way. You know, you don't have to roll certain die. You just have to roll the search tokens. So you can get those ammo tokens a lot faster, and we actually love that. We also like that you could kick the ammo bucket to someone else, you know, and move it. If you're next to each other, you just keep kicking it back and forth because I got enough ammo, I'm gonna give it to him. Also, those grenades are really good too. When we picked up grenades, most if not every time we used a grenade. Throwing those grenades a distance of 3 is really nice too, and there are 3 different types of grenades is a lot of fun as well. So I actually like the ammo pack. I don't know if that's going to be for sale in retail, if that was just exclusive Kickstarter, but that's an actual fun little mini expansion. Overall, the game's great. Sure, you can get everything if you want. Like I said, the one I enjoyed the least was Death Valley, which is really sad because that's the one I had high expectations for. But overall, it's really nice. What does this game have that the original doesn't? Well, 2 things. One, the little shield aliens that you had to kill when you were right up in front of them. I know that was annoying for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people complained about it. So the designer's like, okay, I'll do flyers instead. Flyers are nice, but they're not that dangerous. You're not really scared of flyers, and you don't really go, oh no, flyers. No one says that. So they're not as dangerous or, you know, a big headache as the shield people, but I understand why they made the switch. So not too much for that. Maybe they come out with expansion with the other aliens in them. Who knows? The other thing that I am kind of disappointed in that the original had that this one doesn't is it doesn't have the mega aliens, the big yellow mega bosses. And that's kind of weird because, you know, I thought Cool Mini or Not was all about their minis, and making giant minis for sale for tons of money on Kickstarter would, you know, cha-ching. I wanted to cash in on that money, but I get maybe they'll do that for another expansion too. Do yellow mega bosses. That's one thing I love about the original game. The yellow mega bosses, they're awful, but you love awful. So if you have the old game, I think you should still get the new game. I think there's good enough stuff in the new game that it does trump the old game. I'm not throwing the old game away or selling it or anything. I'm not going to sell it. I decided to keep it because I still, when it comes to the minis, it's 50-50 for me. I mean, I could go either way. These look really nice. These look really nice minis, but to be honest, I like the old minis. The old minis are tough. And no one really liked them because they were kind of cheap looking, but you could stomp on those things, they weren't going to break. These things, I feel like they're going to break. They seem a little, you know, very breakable and stuff, but the old ones seem fine. I really like those. But I am going to keep it. Probably not going to play the original as much, but every once in a while, yeah, I would play the original again. However, if you do want to get the expansion, the new one and all the expansions, yeah, I would say it's definitely worth your time. One other thing I forgot to mention, I do love that app. I think it looks really cool, and I'm not much of an app guy, but I do enjoy the app for Project Elite. So overall, yes, the game is worth it. Go all in. The only thing I didn't get were the marble die. I didn't see the point of getting those. And hopefully they do come out with expansions because I would be interested in them. But anyway, that's all the time I have for now, gamers. Until next time, you know what to do. Shoot up aliens or run.